Hello team, Rob here. In today's video, I'm going to give you 3 mistakes that people make when they are trying to sell their services. These are 3 mistakes I made for a very long time that once I kind of learned that I was making these mistakes and I never made them again, I saw a drastic uptick in the amount of people who were not only interested in my service because word of mouth spread, but secondly, the amount of people who closed as well. These are 3 very basic yet common mistakes. So if you watch this all the way through to the end, you're gonna know exactly what pitfalls you should be avoiding and how you avoid them and what better things you can do in place. So let's get started. Okay, the first mistake is not actually asking for the close in sales. I used to sit with a great, well-qualified prospect. I'd let them talk to me, a person who really wants to do business in me. And because I was inexperienced, I couldn't actually tell that they were interested in me. I always put it back to like the dating analogy, like the amount of guys who end up in relationships with girls at some point, and the girl was like, I fancied you for ages. And the guy's like, what, really? You don't know what you don't know, and if you've got like no experience in that realm or like you don't know what to look for, it's very easy to miss out on it. So I'd sit there in sessions with potential clients who would basically be telling me, I have a problem with this. I have a problem with this. I need this solution. The same solution I was offering. And I'd sit there like, yeah. That does sound challenging. Yeah, I wonder how you could actually solve that. I completely get it. Yeah, it does. And then they'd say at the end of the call, well, I guess I'm going to go then. And, we can pick this conversation up later. They would like completely lead the call as well. And I would actually say, okay, yeah, no problem. I will speak to you later. And basically, my mistake was the person was right there waiting to be closed, and I just didn't know how to close the sale. And as a consequence, most people make this mistake as well if they're new to sales. They will lose the sale every time, right? You have to be the person to ask whether the person wants to buy. You need to be the person making the offer to the person either on the other end of the phone, in front of you, whether it's in person, on a Zoom call, whatever. A good few ways you can do this is say gentle trial closing statements to the prospective client. And trial closing statements are things like, okay, so I understand your situation. This is what I offer. Where do you want to go from here? It's soft, it's not forcing the person, but it's also giving them an option to have an out as well. Secondly, you could say, what do you think about everything I've just told you so far? And if they reply back saying something like, yeah, it's pretty good, it's very good, or I like everything I'm hearing, then you're getting 2 thumbs up and you know that this person is really liking what you've got to offer. And all you need to say is, this is what I offer, just keep it very quick, and then ask them, do you want to buy this? Okay, it's very simple. You have to ask for the close. You could ask them as well, what is it you'd like to do next? And if the person is like, well, I think I should probably move forward with this as soon as possible, you just say, okay, well, let's do it today. Do you want to pay with Visa? Do you want to pay with MasterCard? We'll get you signed up, we'll get you started straight away, and then we can have a kickoff session and paint out the next few steps. Or they might say to you, I think I'm going to think about it. In which case, you then know you need to start handling the objections. Why specifically do you need to think about it? What other information do you need? Well, I just think I need to go away and sit back and have a bit of a think about everything that we've discussed today. Okay. So how do you feel about everything I've told you so far, right? These are simple questions to just further advance the person along the line. But it's like everything in life, right? What you get isn't always what you deserve. The nicest person in the room isn't going to get the most money if they're not asking for the sale. It's the same with everything in life. The squeaky wheel gets all the grease or all the oil, right? It's the person who asks for the sale actually makes the sale. It's a simple concept, but honestly, like, it is so common, and I used to really suffer with it. So that's number 1. Ask for the sale. Number 2 is talking too much rather than asking questions. So we've all seen sales calls, whether it's on like some sort of movie, a TV show, whether we've got like a little clip on YouTube of somebody doing sales calls, and we all see those salesmen who are like, yeah, this is what I have to offer. Yeah, you should be doing this right now. Yeah, I'm gonna, send you over the contract, blah, 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 blah. What happens is the person at the other end of the phone actually shuts off because they feel like they're not being listened to. It's very counterintuitive what the correct way to sell to someone is. However, it's the correct way to sell to someone. You need to be asking more questions than you are telling the prospect things, right? So, for instance, you need to be finding out what they're currently doing, what they're trying to achieve, where they're trying to go, what their end goal will actually do for them, if they have tried to do it by themselves first. If they really feel they are needing extra help with this, what they're really feeling they need. And this is a very important step because a person who genuinely needs some help in an area may ask for that help in a very specific way. Here's a good example of exactly why this is important. Let's just say I am selling accounting services. Every business owner pretty much needs accounting services. And I would ask questions to the person on the other end of the call. Why do you need accounting services? And they'd say, well, I just need someone to basically take all this extra stuff off my plate. I need someone to handle my expenses, handle my income, tell me where I'm at every year in terms of like what profit I've made. I don't want to have to waste time on this because business is already too busy, right? That would be a great answer from a question I've just asked. However, if I didn't know this information, and I just started talking at them rather than asking questions, I might say to them, you should get an accountant so you can, basically have somebody do your tax returns every winter or whatever. And it wouldn't resonate with them. But because I've asked the questions, I know what language they speak in. I can say at the end of it, listen, I've sat here this whole call to you, and I know business doesn't require only 10% attention. It requires 100% attention, right? And at the moment, you are spending a lot of your attention trying to work out, your income receipts, trying to work out your expenses, doing all these manual calculations, things which you don't want to be focusing on. How about you actually outsource this to us? We'll take care of all that for you so you can concentrate on what the most important thing is, which is running your business, right? Now, I'm not an accountant, right? But I've just gave you an example. How much better did the second example sound compared to the first one? The reason why is I ask questions. And when I ask questions, I gain information. And when I gain information, then I learn how to speak the language of the potential customer on the other end of the phone or, in the meeting or whatever. All right. So that's mistake number 2, is talking too much and not asking enough questions. All right. Number 3 is probably one of the most common ones as well, is speaking to unqualified people. So I get a bunch of business owners talking to me who are all like, you know what, Rob, I feel like I need to improve my closing rate. I need to improve my sales skills. I'm just not very good at it at the moment. And then when I actually dig into the situation a little bit by asking questions, I work out that it's not their closing rate at all, which is actually the problem. It's the fact that they are not speaking to qualified people who actually even have a shot at buying your service, even if they were really good closers, right? So they're thinking to themselves, I'm just not very good at sales, but it's the fact the person sat in front of them is never going to close ever, even if you've got Grant Cardone trying to close them, right? Or, somebody very high value who's very good at sales. They're just never going to be sold to, right? So you have to look at the type of market you're aiming at and actually just sit back and think to yourself, is this person ever going to actually buy anything from me? Do they have the money, first of all? Because that's one of the biggest objections. Don't have any money. Do they actually need and will find value in what I'm trying to sell them on, right? Because if you're trying to sell, I don't know, find your dream job like career coaching services to a person who's 18 years old, maybe they are interested in climbing the career ladder at that point. However, they probably don't have the money to because they are 18 years old. But even so, if we just take a look at the first question, are they interested in this? Maybe, but to be honest, to know that you need to climb up in your career and to know that you have to earn more money at some point, you generally have to go through a little bit of pain in careers. I don't know why humans need to learn through pain, but it's just the way we are. So make sure you're speaking to qualified people. Make sure your targeting's right. Make sure these people can actually pay for the service before you even get on the phone with them, right? And make sure that they are actually interested in what you are doing. Sometimes I have an automated call booking link that some people click on, and they have to fill out like a little appointment form. So I can actually see a little bit about their business before they come on a call with me. This is just on some cases of people who book a call with me. And occasionally I will find someone who has zero revenue, is not able to invest in the business, and straight away I'll cancel that call with them, and then I'll send them like a list of free resources. Because I don't want to be speaking to unqualified people because they're never going to be buying on the phone. As harsh as that sounds, they get the free resources anyway, but like it's a waste of both of our time, right? We're not going to be taking any steps closer. So that's the 3 sales mistakes I see that people make. Not asking for the close, first of all, talking too much and not actually asking enough questions. And number 3, speaking to unqualified people who would never buy. You correct those 3, you will be doing better than 90% of people out there. 90%, right? That's just an estimate, but I think it's probably quite close from judging from some of the business owners I speak to. Hope you enjoyed that one. Take care. See you in the next video.